Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat and deadlift day. Pretty much storming outside. The lighting's a little funny in the garage accordingly. Had a good workout as far as the early stuff goes, and I'm not really particularly fatigued, but I do kind of have a fair amount of stuff on my plate, not related to training or anything this week. So I'm a little worried about recovery, so I abbreviated some of the assistance work today, but I feel like all of it's strong, all of it's moving along. I just don't need as much volume. Plus, it comes down to we don't always need that sort of volume to grow off of every single workout. So for the squat, I went ahead and did the safety bar. Used the same weight I did last time for an easy training max. Came in and did it for a double instead of a single. Obviously left stuff in the tank. I'm just trying to slowly work that up. And I might try to work with even that weight and build it up to higher reps and then bump up and just kind of undulate it around a little bit as I work it up and really focus more on the deadlift. All right, deadlift today, I did, my warm up with 495 for one. I came in and pulled 585 for a double. And I realized it shouldn't really be an issue to do that because I did 565 for four last week. Now that was a true 4 rep max last week. That was pretty much, I don't think I had a fifth rep. All right, this today, solid, moved pretty quick. It felt pretty heavy on that second rep. It felt real close to a 2 rep max, but when I look at the footage, I realize it wasn't really that bad. Like it's pretty, looked pretty fast. So it's kind of funny how we perceive things sometimes versus how they move, because I thought it was going to be a little grindy on camera, but then I look at it and it's like, it looked like I had another rep in the tank. Now, I tend to pull sometimes a little slow when things get heavy near the top, or what I perceive as slow. But that's always been the funny thing for me on deadlifts. I will see deadlifts that other people are like, dude, that looked like a warm up, when I felt like it was a max. So it's just funny how those things look. For me on deadlifts, I guess I tend to pull pretty quickly, but they always feel slow. And I want to always reiterate that. A lot of times when people are like, wow, that deadlift just flew up. To me, sometimes it's a 5-second rep in my head. When it's a 1-second rep, a 1.5-second rep. So it can just be funny how that goes. So I went ahead and used that weight for the belt squats that I bumped up to last time. And because I've only done that for 10s one time ever, which I did it last time for 3 sets of 10. I did 1 set of 10 on it today. I'm like, you know what, that's good. My quads got stimulus from the other stuff. And I had a really significant amount of volume on all that last week, towards the end of the week. I can chill with it just a little bit today, and probably towards Friday, I may go ahead and do obviously more sets, just depending on how some stuff goes this week. But overall, I mean, really happy with this workout. Happy with that deadlift, that safety squat bar training max or doubles. Again, pretty light. I'm almost just using it as a warm up and just getting used to continuing to squat while I focus on the bench and the deadlift. And eventually, my squat will come right up as a result of it, because I am working all the muscles of the squat, and then doing some, moderately heavy low rep stuff just to work on technique and depth and everything. And again, to have some neural drive while I rebuild my quads and everything. But they seem to be getting bigger, I think, again, because my quads got quite a bit smaller. People are like, we used to squat a lot more. Well, I have bigger quads. Does matter. My deadlifts, though, are pretty much at all-time highs. Right? They're up there. Again, very happy with those. I want it stronger, but I also have to step back and acknowledge at this point in the game, my deadlift is not elite for my age. My deadlift is elite for open class, right? Because we can look at those charts. We can look at charts on different powerlifting feds, and my deadlift is obviously elite for my age class, but when I go back and check the open, it's elite there too. So my deadlift is just elite across the board. I have to acknowledge that and be grateful for that, and step back and say that at 46 years old, to have a deadlift that's considered in that category, which is a broad range, I have to be grateful for that, to be doing that still at this age. Hey, Be thankful that I'm able to do that and continue to work on it. And I'm going to push for more because I want it to be better. I know that I have room to grow there. I know that the room is there to grow, but I need to acknowledge and be grateful for where it's at. And it's sometimes hard for us to do at times, those of us who want more, more, more. Just like the bench is coming along, my bench is knocking right at finally what would be considered elite for my age and weight class. Again, not my opinion. These are based upon Powerlifting Federation charts. But I also look at that and go, technically, I need a 407 for it to be there in the open. And then I say, well, I want to get there too. Okay? I want to get there too. But we have to be patient. We have to be careful in our approach. We always have to be thinking about recovery. We always have to be thinking about the long game. And that's why this week I'm looking at some of this going, I don't need to push the volumes crazy high on some of these movements that are going to cause me to cramp up or be hurting or anything. When I know I have a few things I've got to get sorted this week that are pretty important. So I need to be careful of mitigating all of that. But I came in and went harder on the reverse hypers because that's the other thing I'll look at. Okay, so if I'm a little worried about recovery this week, we can do more movements. We can be careful with the stuff that may fatigue us a little. And I know, granted, those are all non-axial loading movements. But keeping in mind, I do a lot of axial loading with the heavy deadlifts and squats every week. But to step back and say, let's watch those, but then we could do more reverse hypers because reverse hypers are absurdly easy on recovery because of the traction effect. So come in and do more of that, right? Put my volume into here. So I did 3 extra sets of these to compensate for removing the others. So I'm still getting the same total lower body volume that I got last Friday, just I'm using the last 3 sets on an easier exercise that puts me in traction. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that from time to time. I don't think there's a problem with doing that. In fact, I think it's a very wise way for us to do these things and acknowledge and address our recovery as we go. And I feel like I will come out of this workout still adapting. This is a productive workout. It still has positive training stress. The deadlift, I'm really shocked that it looked that good on camera. I'm going to throw it back in again at the end just for you guys to see again. But I mean, yeah, I'm surprised because it felt real close to a 2-rep max. I'm not saying 100% of a 2-rep max, but it felt like within 1% of it, 2% of it, and it just flew up. So again, have to be grateful for that also. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.